So welcome to this REDCap tutorial. I'm going to give you a brief walkthrough on how to get started with creating your REDCap survey for your nursing project. So to begin, the easiest way to get to REDCap would be on the library's website. So in this search for books, articles, journals, search box, databases by name is where you're going to find REDCap. It is not under articles by subject because it is not a subject database. So databases by name, select REDCap from the drop down. Computer skills. Select REDCap and go. This is the library's REDCap LibGuide page that I created, and it contains lots of instruction on how to use REDCap. However, because you are creating a simple REDCap survey, I'm going to walk you through how to get that done without showing you or having you go to complicated resources on how to build your survey. To get started, you're going to go to the login page. And because I already have a REDCap account, it's going to prompt me to log in. Your screen is probably going to look a little different. So actually, what I'm going to do at this point is I am going to I'm going to stop sharing. Roberta, do you mind if I allow you to host? And I'm going to actually walk you through. Does anyone already have logged into REDCap and just got stuck on how to create the survey? Or do you need instructions from beginning to end? Have you guys already started to create the project and you got stuck? Roberta, you did?
I just signed up and this is what I have on, but I can't share because I had to get on my phone to get in this meeting.
All right, so it's fine. Then I'm just gonna I'm gonna go back to sharing my screen. So once you have created your REDCap account, you're just gonna have to log in. Your login is your username, not your entire email. It's just your username and your password. This is the same credentials that you use to log into your Mercy Connect or Blackboard. Same credentials. So once you're in, you want to create a new project. And I'm actually going to create a test project for nursing. Let's do that. Nursing, this is 502, nursing 502?
Yep.
Okay. In this box, you do not want to create research because you're doing a simple survey. So I would say select other and then specify it as a class assignment. All right. That's the only thing you need to do here. You want to create using an empty project. I do have templates in there, but that is not necessary for this assignment. All right. So the next thing that you're going to do on this page is create project. Once you hit create project, I am going to get an email to allow you to begin your project. I am in right now because I'm the administrator. So I got right in on how to begin the process. All right. So once you start that process and ask to create a project, I am going to get an email. Once I respond to you, you're going to get to this point. Is that clear so far?
Yes.
Right? Okay. So there are really key things that you need to do before you begin to build your survey. The first thing is you have to enable it as a survey in this project. This, if you don't do this first step, you're gonna go all wrong. You won't be able to do anything correctly. So the first step is to enable this as a survey. And this turns green, right? Once it's disabled, you know, use surveys in the project. It has to look like this, all right? The other thing that you wanna do is make sure that your title matches the rest of your project. So the second step is online designer. And there are a couple of things that you have to do at this point. The second thing is to enable as a survey as well. So you enabling as a survey in two different places. First, in the beginning of the project, when you set it up, and secondly, under designer. All right, so you have to click the screen enabled as well. Again, if you skip these first two key points, things are gonna go wrong. All right, you wanna change the name of your survey from this generic title, My First Instrument. You wanna name it whatever you have named your project. So my project is called Test Project. And it's in 502. You want your survey title to match that, all right? The other thing that you want to do in this section, I'm gonna scroll slowly. Is where it allows you to automatically number your questions. You want to change that from auto numbered to custom numbered. You don't want it to automatically put numbers in there in your project, all right? And then you can save this. You can change this language, but again, because this is a class assignment and the emails are coming to yourself, you don't necessarily have to get very fancy with this, but you can change it if you want to. And then you would save your changes. You then have to go back in and choose to change the name here as well, all right? So under choose action, I'm gonna select rename, and again, I'm gonna rename my project. Everything should match because then you want your data to be able to collaborate properly. So again, I'm gonna name it the same thing because it has to find this instrument when you collect your data, all right? So I have saved that. Now I am ready to start entering my questions. So I select my instrument. And I start adding fields. All right, this is where your survey is going to be created. I select add fields. Now you guys have a set of questions, right, that you have to enter here, and the selection you make is based on that particular question. So let's say one of the questions is, I don't know, does someone want to volunteer a question, a type of question? If you're on mute, you have to unmute yourself and tell me what that question is. What are the questions do you have for the survey? I know you guys all have the same standard questions, so just pick one.
Select the appropriate age group.
Okay, what is the entire question?
Demographics, section 1, demographics. Select the appropriate age group.
Okay, thank you. So I'm just gonna, that's a text box. Okay, so I'm just gonna select a text box. I'm gonna type in, select the appropriate
age group.
Make sure I don't have I'm gonna put a colon in there. And then you must put in a variable name. This is how this is gonna create your data correctly, all right? So I'm just gonna name my variable name age group. You could put you could put a underscore, you could just type it as one word, it doesn't matter. It shouldn't be too long and it should match what your question is. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Right? So once I have done that, where is my, oh, that's not the one that I wanted. Oh, so I'm gonna actually, it's multiple choice. That's gonna be a multiple choice, single answer question, right? Because you only want them to select one age group, correct? right? So based on the type of question, that is the kind of field type you're gonna choose. If you have questions about that going forward, I can help you with that. But you look at the drop down, you determine what kind of question you're asking, and then you select that type of question. If they could select more than one answer, then it would have been, you know, multiple choice, multiple answers. Does that make sense? Right? So for this particular question, it's multiple choice, single answer. And now I'm gonna tell them what those choices are. What are those choices? And I'm not gonna put in numbers. So what are the age groups?
Yeah, 21 to 25.
21 to 25.
26 to 30.
26 to 30. And you're just typing them in, no numbers, anything. Go ahead.
31 to 40.
Well, it looks like there's a big gap in between 21. Oh, it's 21 to 25. That's my typo. I'm sorry.
Yeah. 21
Yeah,
to 25.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, then 41 to 50. 51 and older.
51 and older.
Choose no to answer.
Choose no to answer. I'm gonna type it like this. All right.
Choose not to answer.
Is that it?
Yeah, not to answer.
All right. So you've created the answers, right? And I'm going to show you how this is going to look to the user, which is basically yourself. If the question must be answered, you would select required, right? If the person answering the survey has the option to skip this question, you don't make it required. Does that make sense? All right. The key thing here, when you put in your questions, you must give it a variable name and determine whether the default is required is no. If it must be answered, you select yes. And then you save. You have created your first question. Just gonna ask you this, it's just confirming. You see it has numbered it for me. I didn't have to do anything, right? And then I close and I save. And I have created my first question. This is what it's gonna look like, all right? I think this is a nicer view. The other option for one answer would have been a drop down. You want them to be able to see the choices right away. So I think this is good, all right? If you made a mistake when you created this pencil allows you to go back in and edit, all right? Once you have done that, you come back and you add another field. Can someone give me another question? What's your second question?
Can I go ahead?
Yes, of course. Thank you.
Because I have the printout.
Oh, that's good.
Please describe your gender.
Please describe your gender.
Yes.
Oh, your gender.
Gender.
Gender. And do you have choices for that?
Yep.
Okay.
Male, female.
Male.
Male, female.
Female.
Transgender.
Transgender.
Choose not answer. Choose not answer.
Choose not to answer? Okay. So I think I put it on wrong the first time. It's choose not to answer.
That's it.
Okay, so I have to correct the first one. All right, again, variable name, right? You could keep this as simple as gender, right? And save. Okay, so I'm gonna go back in and correct my first question. And it's choose not to answer, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is the process you're going to use to continue to go through your questions. All right. Once you are done, you go to survey distribution tools on your left navigation. And this allows you to view your project, see how it's coming, if there are any typos. This is how it's going to look to you when you begin to answer those questions, right? So you're going to have your 10 questions in there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Again, you can You can edit this language if you wanted to. If you want it to look pretty, you want to say something else. But again, this is a simple group project, so you probably don't have to do that. Once you have completed the survey, you come back to survey distribution tools. Oh, I'm right there already. You go to participant list. This is how you're going to send the survey to yourself 10 times. All right. You don't want to enable participant ID. That is not necessary. Okay. This is a safety precaution in REDCap to keep data confidential. So you do not want to do that. Although this is a project you're working on yourself, it doesn't matter. You should not enable that. You're going to add yourself as the participant. So you're going to enter your email. Come on. 10 times. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy, paste, paste, right? 10 times. Okay. I participant. And I have another Zoom meeting. I'm going to have to wrap this up. But we go. So you are going to be in here 10 times. And then you're going to compose the invitation. And you can call it your REDCap assignment or nursing 502 or whatever you want to. And then you're going to send this to yourself. You should receive this in your email. So once you compose, move this over, it's going to allow you to send the invitation. All right. You then send that to yourself 10 times. You answer the questions. Once you have done that, oops, sorry. Once you have collected your data, you have sent it to yourself. Why aren't you going back? My computer is very slow for some reason. Once you've collected your 10 surveys, you're going to come back in and you're going to go to stats, data exports, reports, and stats. Stats and charts. And you can export your data. Other export options, and I think your professor wants you to export it as, oh, that's not what you want. My report, that's a PDF. You don't want the PDF. I think she wants an Excel. You export it as an Excel. There are two options for Excel. One is just the raw data, one has the labels in it. I don't know which one you need, but this is how you're going to export the data to yourself. All right. Questions? No questions at all?
Yeah, just have to do by myself, then we'll see.
Okay, so I recorded this. I'm actually gonna send it to your professors so they can, your professors, so they can add it to Blackboard. I can add it myself because I'm actually in Blackboard. And just go over it again, right? And see if you get caught up in a step, if you miss a step, you can just look at this. But feel free to email me at any time and I can still walk you through this. All right?
Right.
I'm afraid I have to run quickly because I have another Zoom session and the person is actually waiting on me. All right? Mm-hmm. So good luck and I expect to hear from you guys. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So I'm going to step.
Have a good day.
You too. Thanks.
Yeah.